Welcome into another edition of The Rundown here on Big Rapids Daily News and News Radio WBRN. Brandon Wirt, Jack Hackman joining you here. It is Thursday. We are getting this episode to you as fast as we can. And Jack, it's not going to be fast enough because we got boys regional championships tonight, girls district championships on Friday. I mean, this is trophy week. This is as good as it gets.
Couple hat and t-shirts games, as I like to say.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. We're going to be talking about the brackets on the girls' side as well as give you an update on the CSAA teams remaining in the boys' side. Hint, hint, just one. Good luck to the Grant Tigers. We'll talk about them in just a little bit. But before we get into our bracket reviews and analysis, big thanks to our sponsors, including Denny's Muffler and Brakes, right there on State Street in Big Rapids, 796-6335. If you have need on brakes, mufflers, and general auto repair, Denny's Muffler and Brakes. Also, big thanks to Eagle Village. If you're looking for a job to impact the lives of youth and the next generation, lots of opportunities available. EagleVillage.org/careers. Eagle Village, where potential soars. All right, let's get into District 35 on the girls bracket. District championship settled on Friday in Cadillac. Big Rapids and Fremont. Cardinals get a big win over the Orioles. Fremont and Cadillac were really kind of knotted up at the half, but the Packers run away in the second half. But especially for Big Rapids, I mean, Jack, we were both at these games. I mean, it was a tight, fought game. The Ray Fricky really took over in the second half, finished with 26 points. She's been outstanding as a sophomore. But I think the big thing down the stretch, Big Rapids did a great job on the offensive glass in that second half. Really kind of was the difference in this one.
Yeah, most definitely. It was a slow start, kind of picked it up. Then got to the fourth quarter. It was, a stalemate for a little while. It was really 36-33 for a couple minutes. And then Big Rapids hit some big-time shots towards the end of that game and really pulled away.
Absolutely. So Big Rapids and Fremont will be squaring off. There we'll have the call on Big Country 100.9 for you. You can find more information. Follow Big Country 100.9 on Facebook, Instagram, and X. And also the early quarterfinal games. Reed City falling to Ludington 56-32. And Cadillac just ever so barely squeaks away from Newaygo. I thought the Lions were going to have an opportunity. After the first quarter, it looked really bleak. At halftime, it was a complete different story. Really a hard-fought effort there from Newaygo, and then for Reed City as well, the same. Certainly seemed like they were outmatched, but certainly did what they could. Morgan Hammond was great, and especially for her, it just really wasn't the year for Reed City. A lot of learning curves coming up ahead for that group here going into next season as well.
Yeah, most definitely. This is a group, though, that, you and Mark on the call, Mark was talking to towards the end of the game. This was a team that, they weren't expected to win very much, and they had a very good season that they can look back on, and this is a team that can build on the future.
100%. Let's take a look at District 36, the notable CSAA team. Chippewa Hills coming up just a smidge short against a very good Clare team, 39-32. I mean, hats off to the Warriors. They certainly were battling all year long. Frankie Fall, one we've mentioned on the show, Van's very, very good. Obviously, we'll get to the all-conference honors here later on, probably on the next episode or two, so be on the lookout for that. But overall, Chip Hill's fighting a good Clare team who will now be heading to the district championship game against the Panthers of Standish Sterling. But good news for Clare, they're going to be hosting this one, so that'll be an advantage.
Yeah, most definitely will. Two really good programs going to battle there. This is a Clare team that was really good, but hats off, you mentioned it, to the Warriors for a hard-fought game against Clare, only losing by 7. This is a win. Obviously your season's over, and that really, truly does suck, but you got to look at the positives. You only lost by 7 to a really good Clare team.
100%. So that'll be an interesting matchup. Standish Sterling got through Ogama Heights in the semifinal, who got through Gladwin there in the quarterfinals. You can see on your bracket. Let's look at District 40. Central Montcalm comes up just a bit short against Ionia, 44-36, the final score. So Ionia will have the privilege, I guess you could say, to play the powerhouse of Portland. They have been phenomenal this year with a 73-34 thumping in that semifinal. And they're a good team that's really, really good. But hats off to Central Montcalm. We can really say the same things about Central Montcalm that we can say with Chippewa Hills. Record certainly wasn't there. They knew they could win a couple more games. I mean, this was a team that almost knocked off Kent City, almost had some big non-conference wins. And this is a team as well that, had those point totals up to about 50 points per game, but the defense sometimes was a little bit sporadic, and that was the difference why this team was 500 instead of potentially 15-win club.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head. This is a very hard-fought CSAA fight this season between the Eagles and the Mohawks. And then the Hornets, you mentioned it, a couple of those sneaky games, some big-time out-of-conference games, but just weren't able to get it against another great, you mentioned it, this is very comparable seasons between the Warriors as well.
Absolutely, and we'll have Portland and Ionia squaring off on Friday there from Central Montcalm, those interested in that district. Let's talk about District 41. Grant and Tri-County, if it's ever in girls hoops on the schedule, you got to go because it's going to be a 1-point game. It could be a 1-possession game at this point. Third time these two teams have played, and the third time it was down to the wire. 48-45, Grant pulls off a narrow sweep against the Vikings. This just sounded like, from what I heard from secondhand intel, was a fabulous basketball game, and especially from Sparta. I mean, neutral court, great fan bases, and for Grant, they're playing for a district title despite almost a complete roster turnover and a coaching change from last year. Coach Smith has done a fabulous job, and now it's going to be tough against the home team in the Spartans, I should say. But man, they have a big opportunity up ahead to potentially bring home a title.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, they don't ask how you get there. They ask if you won the district. And right here, this is a district, we mentioned it, we both really said it. It's kind of a coin flip, whoever could win. And this was a district that didn't have any winning teams in it. But this has been one of the more exciting districts in Division II.
100%. I mean, this is going to be a fun matchup to watch for Sparta and Grant in that district final game there from Sparta on Friday. Let's look at District 72. Molly Stanwood rolls 64-24 over Lakeview. They will now play Beale City. They're in Morley for the championship game. Good luck to Coach Raven. Had him on the show early on this year. Lakeview knocks off Farwell in what was a big-time upset, 43-40, before falling to Molly Stanwood. So hats off to Lakeview for getting that playoff win. That's obviously, something that you can clap at on the season. But for Molly Stanwood, I mean, it's just a well-oiled machine. We knew they're going to be heavily favored in this district. And right now they have a chance to prove it against Beale City, but they're going to do it on their home floor. So with Narat, with Martin, and some of these fabulous players, they're going to have an opportunity to shine on Friday night and win a district.
Yeah, this Mohawks team is rolling right now. One of the best teams in, really around the area. We've talked about it. They have an impressive group. Coach Raven has done an excellent job with that group this season.
100%. So it'll be that game for the district title. Let's look at District 73. Shelby and Hart will square off in that championship Friday night game. Hart just getting away from White Cloud on their home floor, 49-38. Hats off to White Cloud. I mean, this was one of the teams, you look at where that team was earlier on in the season, really kind of had some slippery slopes along the way, certainly skidded a little bit, but man, they were the team to talk about over the last couple of games of the season. They really did well. I mean, this was a team that was averaging at one point, I think, around 40 points per game, and they finished the year at right around 50 points per game, including some big-time notable upsets down the stretch.
Yeah, most definitely. They were really able to compete with some great teams inside the area. One of those being the Newaygo game, losing only by a couple points to Central Montcalm. And really, you took them to overtime in the first matchup. 3 days later, you lost by 8 points. But it was a team that, you mentioned it, was a team to talk about, especially at Newaygo. This was a fun team to cover. And, they had a hard-fought game against Hart. Obviously sucks to see them go down. But this is some very similar teams between the Warriors as well, being in this kind of, in the Hornets. These are teams that, tough losses, but had some tough matchups.
Absolutely. I think Coach Wilk and that squad are going to have some eyes on them going into next year for what they did down the stretch. So Shelby and Hart will play a White Cloud on Friday. Let's look at District 74, our final girls district bracket with CSAA teams representing. Kent City gets away from North Muskegon. They win by 11, and now we'll face Ravenna. I mean, we might as well have it. We had it in the boys district final. Why not the girls district final? Let's have a grudge match between the Bulldogs and the Eagles. So good luck to the Eagles, especially you talk about a team that is just well-versed, great fundamentals, offense and defense, and you're going to face a really Ravenna team that is scrappy, and they're going to play it tough. So this is going to be a fun matchup, but Kent City, they're going to be in the nest. So that's going to be a big-time home crowd advantage for a district title.
Yeah, most definitely home court advantage. These are two, you mentioned it, scrappy teams, but Kent City, the fundamentals have to come to play. You got to be on your A game, especially a team like Ravenna that on the boys' side as well has had history of being successful in the playoffs. This is going to be a very fun district final.
Absolutely. And two of the best teams in the district in terms of defensive points per game allowed. Both teams play very, very good defense. So it should be interesting to see how the offenses will try to counteract. So that's a look at our girls district matchups here. So good luck for all of those. Once again, if you want these brackets and more, and you don't want to rewind this episode, or if you're listening with us on the radio, you can go to Big Rapids Daily News on Facebook, Instagram, and X. We'll keep you updated on the tournament as it goes along, as well as be sure to be on the lookout for that soon. We got all conference lists to be announced for all of our sports, so we'll have those published for you here as well for CSAA play. Before we get into the boys side of hoops and our scores to recap from the regionals, big thanks to RivalsMI.com. Support your local team of choice online at RivalsMI.com. $50 for an order. That gets you free shipping, so you can go online, RivalsMI.com. Also, big thanks to Dazos Digital. Target your target audience with the experts at DazosDigital.com for you and your business online, social media, media, targeting ads, streaming, and more. Once again, DezosDigital.com. Let's talk about the regionals. Semifinals were on Tuesday. Finals are on Thursday as we're recording this. Some of you might be a little late to the party, but that's okay. We'll fill you in later. Big Rapids Daily News, as we mentioned 15 times on this episode. But the big thing, the Grant Tigers are still alive, 66-48. And obviously, we knew this team was going to be special. A lot of people said they can get through the district, but what happens in regional play when you play Kenowa Hills? Now they're going to be playing Catholic Central, which we'll talk about in just a minute. But, I mean, how about the effort at Fremont for Grant to win, not only against this Kenowa Hills team that's a 19-win club, they've been battle-tested all year, but, I mean, they beat them by 18, and they absolutely filled it, Jack, as you mentioned to me. They just offensively, Phillips and co. I think Phillips had 17 points to lead the way, but everybody else was just scoring on all cylinders.
Yeah, this was a team that, you mentioned it. We both talked about before the show. This was a team that can shoot the ball extremely well, and they showed it against a very, very good Kenowa Hills team. I saw Kenowa Hills' first game of the year, and there was a team that won by 27 against Big Rapids. And, obviously hindsight 2020 now, but this was a very, very good Kenowa Hills team that had height. And this was a, matchup that could be favorable to both sides, whichever way you look at it. But Grant just filled the basket all night.
Absolutely. And I loved Coach George, what he had to say. I think we got to bring him on the show here, Jack, at this point. I mean, talking about billboard material before the game, how Kenowa was going to roll away with them. March on, Grant. We are rooting for you. They're going to be playing Thursday night tonight. If you are listening to this or watching live and there's still time, which it's going to be narrow, get yourself to Fremont. Should be a really good game there against Grand Rapids Catholic Central. So Grant pulls off the win. Kent City comes up just a smidge short against Granville Calvin Christian, 53-50. I mean, talk about the effort that Coach Boyd's team, with Vanderwest, with Anderson, those guys just absolutely phenomenal in their senior seasons. And this was a team that was led by example, good fundamental basketball each and every game they played.
Yeah, most definitely a team that they're on a lot of possessions. All five guys touched the ball, and then they shot a three, which is a team that, was able to fill it as well. It's not like they're just chucking up shots. This is a very good team, and it's going to be interesting next year how they end up reloading.
Absolutely. That's a team that always seems to have the reloading ability, so we'll wait and see. Granville Calvin Christian, for those curious, will play Pewamo Westphalia on Thursday in Muskegon. Also, some three notable games. We'll give some of our local teams a shout-out here. Baldwin comes up short against a really good Fowler team, 73-49, so hats off to Coach Childress, one of my fellow colleagues at Ferris State as an athlete as well. So good luck to Coach Chill for next season as well, based off of what he did this season. There's a lot to look forward to next season for that Baldwin team. Beale City knocks off McBain in the grudge match, the ultimate rubber match, third time's a charm. So Beale City wins the series. They win the postseason meeting there in Houghton Lake by 3. That was a fabulous game from what I heard. Beale City will now play Pinconning at Houghton Lake on Thursday for a regional championship. And Ludington, a lot of people are following this Orioles team, obviously, for those that watched them play Reed City, watched them play Big Rapids in the playoffs. They just thumped a really good Gladwin team, and that Gladwin team just was overwhelmed in that second half for how well Ludington played. And there's no reason why Ludington can't go to Breslin the way they're playing right now.
That's a phenomenal starting five that they bring in, and they can bring in a couple guys off the bench. All of those guys are so great fundamentally, and they are such an athletic group that they can compete with anybody.
Absolutely. Out of these teams here, Jack, who do you think has the best chance to get to Breslin out of the 5 that we just mentioned? Grant's up there. I know Ludington's up there, but as far as out of those two teams, and then you throw in Beale City as well, who do you think has the best chance to get to Breslin and why?
I think Beale City has a great shot, but that's not who I'm going with. I'm going with Ludington, and I think it's that athleticism that I was just talking about. These guys are great. They can fill the ball. They can play a great defense. They can hold teams. Their press is great. Taj Williams and Cam Gunsel can take this team to the Breslin this year, I think.
Absolutely. I think Beale City as well has a good chance. Obviously, you throw in the Cottrell brothers. They've been fabulous. Kyler Smith was huge against McBain, but we're going to be rooting for Grant. There's no doubt about it. Good luck to the Tigers, fellow CSAA team, and especially here as we'll kind of close out as well. And for more information as well on the tournament, Big Rapids Daily News on Facebook. It's good to see this really, Jack, feels like the year we're talking about the girls. Right now we have some teams playing for the district title. We have teams that are into the regional round. This is really kind of the year where I think everybody can say the CSAA has done well this year. And it's good to see that multiple teams moving on into the regional rounds. I think for the girls, we're going to see them move on as well. One of the most successful years in hoops in quite some time.
Yeah, most definitely. I think it goes farther than hoops. This was a historic football season. You had 3 teams playing for a regional the first time ever in CSAA history. This has been one of the most exciting seasons to watch all CSAA sports.
I mean, come on. We had a great bowling season. We had a fabulous as well in a wrestling season that's still going on for some teams that are actually right now driving into states in there at Ford Field. I mean, come on. This is a great time for the area and local sports right now. There's no doubt about it. This really should be a celebration at the end of the day. We're going to be able to celebrate all of our conference and all of our all-region and all-state honorees coming up here on the show. But everybody should get a round of applause for how well of an entertaining season this has been across the board in winter sports.
Yeah, 100%. I talked about the historic part. Just everybody coming together. This was a phenomenal season. Had some great teams. Grant's 25-0. Can they complete the undefeated season? Only time will tell.
Miami of Ohio? Question mark? Come on, let's go. Go Grant, and especially go to all of our girls district teams in the CSAA. We are wishing you luck. Thank you all for tuning in here to this episode. We appreciate your view. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. Also, 3:30 p.m., 107.7 FM for replays of the rundown, as well as live score recaps and more. Jack, any last things to add?
This has just been, we've been talking about for the past 2 minutes, just such an exciting CSAA season.
Oh, it's been so good. We have spring starting up. We're going to get previews out as well for those sports coming up. And oh, by the way, the Tigers are playing baseball again. And there's no snow outside. You can't see there's no snow outside right now. We can stop the count now, keep it away, but it's going to be great. Until the next episode here on The Rundown, take care, everybody, and be sure to subscribe. Big Rapids Daily News on YouTube.